Previously we talked of the detailed version of viruses, that what are viruses, about the structure of viruses and the protein capsomers, that is the capsid, the structure of bacteriophages, and the examples related to plant, animal as well as bacterial based viruses. Now three things are important for viruses when we are discussing viruses. So when virus is outside the living body, that is outside the host organism, they are acting as the non-living organism or non-living things. Like, so when virus is outside the host, they are called as virons. So viruses outside the host body are called as virons. And W.M. Stanley, scientist, the contribution of W.M. Stanley is very important because he has crystallized the tobacco mosaic virus for the first time. So viruses outside the host are called as virons, and W.M. Stanley in 1935 crystallized tobacco mosaic virus. Right, now let us discuss about the few other components of this topic, that is acellular group of organism. So second topic or second acellular thing is viroids. First viruses, now the second is viroids. Now these are the smallest infectious smallest infectious agent known till date, which are even smaller than viruses. So these viroids are, you can write, they are the smallest known infectious agent. So they are smallest known infectious agents which are even smaller than viruses. So they are smaller than viruses also. Basically, capsid is absent but nucleic acid is present. If you remember, the protein coat is absent in viroids. So the protein coat that is called as capsid is absent, but they have short single stranded RNA, that means ssRNA is present. So single stranded RNA is present. So what are viroids? They are the smallest infectious agents known till date, which are smaller than the viruses. They are even smaller than viruses. The protein coat, that is the capsid, is absent in viroids, but they have single stranded RNA. So T.O. Dinner in 1971 discovered the potato spindle tuber disease. Right? This is PST viroid. So T.O. Dinner in 1971, D-I-E-N-E-R in 1971, has discovered PST viroid, and this PST viroid causes potato spindle tuber disease. So PST viroid, it causes potato spindle tuber disease. So this is the example of viroid. In 1971, Theo Dinner discovered the PST viroid. This is very important. PST viroid, which causes potato spindle tuber disease. Right? Now let us discuss the third agent, that is the third example, that is prions. P-R-I-O-N-S. So the third one is prions. Right? So let us make the line here, because up till here it was all about the viroids, and this is the contribution of the W.M. Stanley, who has crystallized tobacco mosaic virus in the 1935 year. Now prions. So basically size is similar to virus, but it is opposite of viroids. That means protein coat is present. You see, in viroids, protein coat is absent. So basically in prions, protein coat is present. Here single stranded RNA is present. In the prions, opposite. That means RNA will be absent. So viroids and prions are opposite to each other. So protein coat is present, here protein coat is absent. Single stranded RNA present, here you can say RNA is absent. Right? Protein capsid is present, RNA is absent. Now, example includes the common disease, that is bovine spongiform encephalopathy, BSE. Commonly this is called as mad cow disease. So whatever you learn for viroids, just apply opposite in prions. Examples are different. Here it is potato spindle tuber viroid. Here example include bovine spongiform encephalopathy. Encephalo means it is related to brain. So bovine spongiform encephalopathy. Right? This is commonly called as mad cow disease. Mad cow disease. Right? Now let us discuss the fourth thing. So the first one was viruses, the second one was viroids, the third one is prions, fourth one virusoids. And dear students, all these things is not a part of NCERT. Again and again I am repeating. So please rely on the lectures which I am giving you. Utilize the maximum you can. So fourth, virusoid. So the fourth is virusoid. Now they are circular single-stranded RNA which are dependent on viruses for replication. You see the magic. Virus itself is dependent on host for its replication. Virusoid is dependent on virus for its replication. See the amazing things happens in the biology, in the biological science, in the nature. So viroids, prions, virusoids. So what are virusoids? They are basically circular single-stranded RNA dependent on virus. So they are dependent on viruses for their replication. That means for their growth as well as for that is mainly for multiplication, that is duplication of the DNA. They are dependent on viruses. So they are also called as subviral agents or satellite viruses. So they are also called as subviral agent. Now why we are calling it as subviral agent or satellite virus? Because subviral, it is dependent on viruses, subviral agents or satellite virus. Now the best example is hepatitis B virus in humans. This is basically dangerous for humans also. So it is hepatitis D, D for Delhi, hepatitis D virus in humans, which require hepatitis B virus for its functioning. So they are dependent on viruses. This is hepatitis D virusoid. They are dependent on hepatitis B for its multiplication. That means for its replication, for its growth and development, hepatitis D is dependent on hepatitis B. Right? Now let us discuss the fifth thing related to now algal fungal relationship we have to discuss. So they are called as lichens. That is a symbiotic association between algal as well as fungal species. So the fifth one is lichen. Now let us discuss lichens. Lichen or lichen, whatever you want to say, you can say, right? So they are basically symbiotic association, a kind of mutual association between algal as well as fungal species. So they are symbiotic organisms and they show the mutual relationship between two group of organisms, that is fungi as well as algal. So they are symbiotic organisms and they are showing mutual relationship between algae as well as fungi. So there are different names which are given to algal as well as fungal component. So let me highlight this first, because you should not be confused. That's why I am using the demarcation lines as well as the headquarters. Now the algal component is called as phycobiome. If you remember, phycophages, right? Fungal, mycophages. So here we can write mycobiome. So fungal component is called as mycobiome and algal component is called as phycobiome. Now what is this mutual relationship? What alga is doing and what fungi is doing. Now fungi will provide, first of all let us discuss what algae is doing. Algae is providing the food, right, for fungi. Through photosynthesis, cyanobacteria, blue green algae, we can take example. So algae is providing food for fungi, and in turn what fungi is doing, it is providing shelter, that means a place to live to whom? The algal component, that is the algal species. So fungi provide the shelter, and if you remember, the fungi has the components which are acting as a mycelia component, the hyphal component, which absorb nourishment, nutrient from the soil. So fungi provide shelter and absorbs minerals for algae. It will give the minerals to algae. Using that thing, algae will perform the photosynthesis and the food is prepared. Now algae, the features are, they are good pollutant or good pollution indicator. That means they do not grow in polluted environment. So they are good pollution indicator. This is the usefulness of lichens. Okay? So they are good pollution indicator. Now what is the meaning of good pollution indicator? That means they do not grow in the polluted environment. And it is also used in preparation of the litmus paper, which we use in the chemistry laboratory. Useful in preparation of litmus paper, that paper which is used to detect the given component as acid, base or neutral. So we have discussed viruses, viroids, prions, virusoid, lichen. Now the last is mycorrhiza. This is the last component of acellular part of this chapter. Myco, M-Y-C-O R-R-H-I-Z-A-E. That is also called as fungal roots, because myco word is used for fungi. So they are called as fungal roots. So it is basically again a kind of symbiotic relationship between the fungi and the roots of higher plants. So it is symbiotic association or symbiotic relationship between, BW means between fungi and higher plants. Example includes the pinus seeds, which do not grow without mycorrhizae. So example includes pinus seeds, which do not germinate without mycorrhizae. So this is all about the viruses, viroids, virusoids, lichens, as well as mycorrhizae. So in the next part, whenever we meet or in the video lecture, we will start with kingdom fungi.